Austraeoh by Imploding Colon, read by Deathlight, Chapter 171, Dragons. Look alive! Stu shouted before pulling his crossbow out of his saddlebag with his teeth and affixing it between his two forelimbs. Meanwhile, Swirls was shouting, "Your Highness, watch out!" But Sam Rose was already charging at the three monstrosities. The trio of dragons held their ground and jerked their heads forward. Three beams of flame layered over the charging path of the armored equine. Sam merely ducked, slid under them, and dashed forward. He skidded to a stop by the first dragon and shook his hindquarters. The sleeves of his armor flew open, and he grabbed the hilt of the largest blade from his left. Swirling, he raised it in a combined grip of his teeth and forelimbs and blocked the taloned swipe of the closest dragon. Parrying, he lunged to the side and stabbed forward. A spurt of hot blood flew from the drake in front of him. As the beast stumbled back, its two companions lunged forward at the snarling earth pony. He's insane! Rainbow Dash cackled. No, he's angry. Ember Speak said, loading her crossbow. There's a difference. She took aim and shouted towards the other two. Cover fire! Three bolts flew through the air, whistling and sailing into the flesh beneath one unlucky drake's left wing. The creature shrieked and stumbled towards the rubble. Samrose caught wind of this. Holding his blade in his teeth, he vaulted over the other dragon's neck, slid down his tail, somersaulted forward, and skewered the stumbling worm's throat with the full length of the blade. The first dragon had her covered and witnessed his sibling's demise. It charged viciously at Sam. The princely warrior felt the attacker's approach through the trembling rubble. He jerked back, yanked the blade through the air, and spun 180 degrees. Scalding hot blood from the slain dragon flew into the eyes of its vengeful companion. Hissing, the dragon slid to a stop and thrashed around blindly. Furiously, it took a huge breath, sucking the warmth from the air. "Everybody, scatter!" Stu shouted, canceling the reload of his weapon. "Fire incoming!" As prophesied, the blind dragon exhaled. A wave of billowing plasma rolled across the Sylvedalian ruins, turning sand and dust to glass. Stu threw himself out of the way. Swirls and Ember dove into a crevice together. And Rainbow Dash? She did what came naturally to her. She flew straight up, soaring above the blast. Sweating from the intense heat, she looked down to see Sam running up the tail of the blind dragon, mounting its head and stabbing down its skull repeatedly with soul-trembling shouts. Unbeknownst to him, the last dragon was stalking up behind, its teeth glistening as it prepared to lunge at a succulent target. "Hey! Behind you!" Rainbow shouted. Sam was too engulfed in the passionate slaughter to see his doom beyond the nearby flame and soot. Rainbow gnashed her teeth, pressed two hooves to her ruby pendant, and flew down like a missile. Her eyes narrowed and a white sphere of light flashed around her figure before impact. The force with which Whiteman's shield slammed into the attacking drake was enough to create a concussive blast of turbulent energy. Vapor's air expanded outwards from all directions. Rainbow Dash managed to save Sam, but she also knocked the two of them hard into the concrete rubble below. Rainbow landed hard and rolled a few feet. Samrose collapsed, three of his swords spilling out of his armor and clattering into a stop around him. Wincing, he looked up and saw the last dragon reeling. With a strained breath, he grabbed one of his swords with his mouth and slapped his hoof over another. The second sword flipped in the air, at least, until Sam spun-bucked the airborne hilt with his hoof, and sent it, along with the blade in his mouth, fleeing towards the shocked targets. Both blades lodged into the creature's chest. Shrieking, the monster fell down like a shrieking sack of meat, his gaping jaws vomiting up blood and bile. Rainbow winced and sat up, her body still fluctuating with platinum energy. Why does every problem I solve involve slamming my head against the things? You! Sam exclaimed as he gaped at her, struggling to catch his breath. You interrupted my fight! You're welcome. What kind of sorcery is this? He squinted at the translucent shield. You possess magic, Pegasus? Hey, it's all in the main, remember? She dryly smirked, her lungs heaving. Give Emberspeak a golden star already. Just then, a steady stream of roaring noises echoed over the horizon. Irma and Sam spun to see a solid line of 6, 8, 12 dragons incoming. More of the matriarch's children. Sam ran towards the last sane dragon and yanked his blades out. Too much for all of us to handle. I shall hold them off. What? Rainbow Dash's eyes twitched, then she frowned. Dude, that's suicide! I will merely distract them while you find the others and rush them to the entrance of Sanctuary. But I got the shield thing here for 3 more minutes, 2 at least. She exclaimed, pointing at her pendant. I can totally use it to distract the dragons. No! Sam shouted, already galloping towards the incoming flock. He glanced over his shoulder and shouted, Use it to get my subjects to safety. I value their lives above all else. Rainbow Dash clenched her teeth, watching as the dragons descended upon the brave warrior. He miraculously warded them off with a flurry of blades before galloping into a cluster of rock croppings. The dragons pursued viciously, breathing fire onto the cinder-gray mass as they attempted to flush him out of hiding. All the dragons were successfully distracted, all except for 2. They broke off from the chase and made thunderously for Rainbow Dash's location. Hissing through her teeth, Rainbow Dash spun about and dove low towards the rubble. She could hear the massive flapping of scaled wings. The air grew hotter as she threaded her way into the porous stone below, and found 3 ponies running her way with their crossbows reloaded. "Was His Highness?" Sproles exclaimed. "He's giving a bunch of dragons a run for the money, but there's 2 more coming this way. Sam asked me to help you guys get to Sanctuary. Then we'll meet up with him there." Stu nodded. Rainbow gave him a shocked look. "How can you be so sure? Has he done this stuff before?" "Knowing our prince, it only means more dragon heads to count by evening time. Now, let's hurry." "Do you know the way?" "Yes," Sproles exclaimed, nodding furiously as she pointed ahead. Directly forward, just past the last few barriers. Rainbow Dash soared forward in a prismatic blur, splashing straight through the walls and forming a massive tunnel with her shield. "Whoa!" Stu exclaimed. "What?" Swirl stammered. "Yes!" Emberspeak grinned as she galloped through. "I knew she was magical!" "No time to explain," Rainbow said, sailing aside Ember as her shield shimmered. "Let's just get to your place and..." A dragon's head bursted through the gray ceiling above. It pivoted and roared directly in front of them. Emberspeak gasped, slipped, and glided forward into the monster's jaws. Swirl spattered, aimed, and fired her crossbow. The metal bolt flew into the drake's throat before Ember could. The creature twitched, gurgled blood, and lifted back up out of the ruins. Swirl trotted over to help Ember up. That was a close one. A second dragon's hand burrowed through the debris above and gripped her waist with a claws the size of machetes. Swirl shrieked, bleeding instantly from several places at once. "Oh, goddess!" Rainbow gulped, her eyes wide. Swirl yelped in agony. "No!" Stu snarled. Eyes inflamed with fury, he ripped his quiver open, grabbed all the darts at once in his teeth, and flew forward. He shoved the whole cluster of barbs into the joint of the creature's huge, scaly wrist. A loud, painful roar emanated from above. The dragon tried to retract its arm, but his elbow got snagged in the rubble above. Swirl sobbed in pain as she was thrashed about in the monster's tortured grip. By this point, Rainbow was gripping the claws of the beast. White Mane's shield was about to give way. Every pony saw the platinum glow flickering to death right as she finally pried the scaly fingers apart. Ember! I got her! Rainbow's speaker rushed forward, clutching Swirls' convulsing body. It's okay, just hold on to me. Stu... Swirls moaned. Get her out of here! Stu shouted and shoved the three forward as the dragon's bleeding hand finally retracted through the hole above. Some will be waiting for us, and... The hole widened as the dragon's maw shoved down, opening wide, and clamped down over Stu's right legs. Ah! Stu! Rainbow bolted forward without thinking. She slammed her elbow into the dragon's skull, but immediately yelped from the scalding touch. Her shield was gone, she was now vulnerable. Bleeding and convulsing, Stu was yanked up out of the hole. No, Stu! Swirls managed to gurgle. Rainbow Dash leapt up, reaching with her hooves. His face twisted in pain as Stu caught her forelimbs, fighting desperately for a grip. He was yanked again towards the world above. Just hold on! I got you! Rainbow wheezed, her every muscle quivering. I got... The dragon's nostrils flared, and a jet of burning flame surged down. Rainbow Dash singed across her neck and shoulders. The sheer pain was enough to knock her off balance as she fell down, her hooves slipping from the stallion. Stu was lifted, alive and screaming, into the smoggy heat above. Stu! Swirls was sobbing so much as she was bleeding. She buckled over in hysterics, fighting to wriggle her way out of Ember's grip. Stu! Oh, please, goddesses, no! Stu! Rainbow Dash! Ember's speaker was shouting in spite of her tears. She was hoisting Swirls backwards towards the deeper pocket of the ruins. Please, Rainbow, help me! I can't do this alone! Rainbow was lying on a stone slab, wincing from her reddened coat. Her eyes were locked onto the hole above until Ember's pleas and Swirl's wails finally snapped her out of it. With a slightly dizzy twitch of her eyes, she snarled, gnashing her teeth, and flew after the two mares, hoisting them up off their hooves and carrying them towards the goal.